I want your movie release date slice. I want this face on your slice.
You want your face on movie release dates? See, what happens is you have to earn that. We're challenging you, and we're going to get movie
Coward,
release
you got
dates.
a real hero.
That face does not belong on movie release.
He's going to keep it. He's going to keep it.
Oh, I love it. The slice, it's going to be mine soon.
Movie release dates.
What do you got, Sam?
Movie release dates.
Wow!
Movie release dates.
Hello? Oh, hey, Brienne! So glad you're here. I don't know if you've heard, but
I've heard.
Me and Christian, right?
Yay!
Yes!
Yeah, we're getting close. We're getting closer.
What do you mean we're getting closer?
Well, it doesn't. It needs Tom. It quite frankly needs Tom.
You really want Tom to be that close to being the commissioner?
I don't actually like Tom, nor do I really want him to be the commissioner. But this isn't about me. It's about the contract. It's about the patrons that wanted it. It's about your league. I have all these signatures. These people are not going to show up at Spectacular.
You're gonna sabotage Spectacular over this?
It's not a sabotage. It's the union.
It's not.
Get on board. League Players Association. Okay? We're walking unless this is happening.
Okay. So me and Tom and Christian.
And someone else. I don't care. Make it a four-way. You can do whatever you want. But it's got to be Tom. And I gotta be on the desk, and then I think we'll have it. I think we'll be good.
All right. So you're gonna you're gonna be on the desk. Okay.
We're gonna be
all
good.
Right. Great. Fine.
Also, I saw Tom in the supply closet, and I think he probably stole thousands of dollars worth of merchandise.
Great. Fucking tag me now.
Chance Ellison, Ethan Irwin, Dan Murrell, Stacy Howard, and Draco McWeeny, Ben the Boss Bateman, Clark Wolf. The singles tournament begins. The winner of that entire tournament faces John the Outlaw Roca at the Spectacular. What a battle we're in for.
I'm better than just a costume. I'm better than just an entrance. I've proved myself as a real competitor. I'm up here to win. I want a title match. I want a belt. I want a championship.
Stacy Howard, you are going to be at the Collider Collision facing Mark and Draco.
Finally!
Yes, yes. And not that. Janine, you are also going to be at the Collider Collision.
Yo! That's what I'm talking about!
Facing
what?
Mark and Draco. And Stacy Howard. It's a triple threat match!
Stacy Howard is the higher ranked player. She is 4-1. She has one knockout. And the winner of this match will play Ethan Irwin.
Collateral beauty.
That is. And with that, Stacy Howard has been eliminated.
The Ultimate Schmoedown Team Tournament 2018. The theme is anarchy. Winston Marshall, sassy Stacy Howard. Dan Murrell and John Roca are facing Stacy Howard and Winston Marshall.
John Roca and I decided to call ourselves the Founding Fathers because we helped build the legacy of this game.
Horsemen! The Horsemen are here. Guy is by himself, and we have our match. It's Guy versus
Child 44.
And your winner! By way! I think Stacy Howard is one of the most underrated competitors that we have in this league. Known to upset people in the first round.
Richard Dreyfuss.
Yes, sir.
Richard Dreyfuss.
Ditto. Jeff Bridges.
That's John Lithgow.
John Lithgow.
Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi. Jeopardy. Bradford. Emma Thompson.
2005, 1987, 2009, 2003, 1997, 2010.
Correct for 2 points.
He made soap for cosmetic countertops.
You can stop there with soap.
Ian McKellen and Orlando Bloom.
And your winners, by way of technical knockout, the outlaw John Roca, Dangerous Dan Murrell, the founder.
What I know is John and I are, we prepared for this match, and we're going to keep preparing, and we plan to go out, walk out, play every game, and when the game's over, we're going to have the most points on the board, and that's all we care about.
I didn't get it written down in time. I know that it's David O. Russell. I did not get it written down in time. I wrote down Spike Jones. David O. Russell I tried to write down there. I leave it to your judgment.
Corruption has advanced to the next round. Mike Kalinowski and Chance Ellison will play against Mark Riley and Ben Bateman. To the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. It's the ultimate Schmoedown, and what a tournament it has been so far. Round one has been electric, and this is the last match of the first round, and what a match we have here. Mark Ellis.
Christian Harlock, you know, as my old gym teacher used to say, hey, Ellis, why are you wearing an eye patch? I was a loser back then, and I was a loser to both of these competitors. Stacy Howard, Dan Murrell, who's going to take it today? They've both beaten the crap out of me.
That's right. You have played both of them, and it has been an interesting year for both of these competitors. This is a first-round matchup, and Stacy Howard did play you in round one last year. She pulled up a big upset, and she wound up going to round number two, eventually losing a defeat to Rachel Cushing. But Dan Murrell has never played in a singles tournament before.
Is that true?
It is true, because after the first tournament that you won, he was already the champion. So he was waiting to see who was going to win, and by the time last year's tournament rolled around, he had already retired. So Dan Murrell has not played in a singles tournament before. This is big for him because Dan had a rough start. He lost the match at the Collider Collision to Andrew Guy. Then he had the team match with Roca, and they won that match. But then they had that close loss to Corruption in the tournament. So he's coming off a loss here, but he is determined. He wants to play for the belt. And if he did so, he would be playing against his fellow Horseman, John Roca.
Yeah, I mean, hearing Dan Murrell has never competed in a tournament format like this.
Well, the singles tournament.
In a singles tournament, it's a shock to my eardrums, but something that is not going to be a shock is if Stacy Howard pulls off this upset, because Stacy has proven she can play with the best of them. Doesn't matter what vegetable nickname they go by, Stacy is not intimidated. And when you look at Dan Murrell, he's had a year that I think, to say the very least, has been surprising to both you and me.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's only played a couple times, and he's been out for the first half. He came back, and now I think he's starting to get his feet wet.
Starting to feel it again, you think?
He's starting to feel it again, but the reason why, in talking to him, is that exactly what you just said about Stacy Howard, you can't take her lightly. Mm-hmm. Dan certainly does not do that. He watched the way that she played at the live event. Dan is not taking her lightly, and Dan is going into this match preparing like he does for all his matches. So we know that Dan Murrell's a two-time champion and he's the favorite, but Stacy Howard has won a lot of favor with the fans, a lot of favor with the competitors. She's a solid competitor, and this could be something very special.
And they're both pretty solid on the mic. We're going to hear from both competitors right now.
The anarchy is over and the squad is back together. I missed you.
I missed you, baby.
And you know what? I am so happy and proud of you, what you did single-handedly at the live event.
You know what? I've never played in a Schmoedown singles tournament before. I'm used to being the guy waiting for the person that's going to come out of the tournament. So this is a new experience for me, but the result's going to be the same. I'm going to be playing for that. Ooh. And if I have to go through this guy, I love this guy. He's my teammate. He's a fellow Horseman. But if I can get to the end of this tournament, all bets are off.
Now we're at the point where you have to shut down Dangerous Dan Murrell again. The lead horse in the Horsemen. He was almost put down once by Andrew Guy. He can be put down and put out to pasture this time. And then after that, it's only, what, 2 more wins for you to take off that stupid-ass hat on that outlaw.
Today I am facing off against Stacy Howard. I have never played her in a singles match before. We saw what happened to me the last time I played a singles match against someone I never played before. I think it was a surprise to a lot of people. Win or lose today, one thing's for sure, Stacy's not going to catch me by surprise. I shared a table with her at the team match. I know what she's capable of. All I got to do today is go out there and do what I'm capable of.
Let me set the scene, okay? Let me tell you guys a little story about a while back, okay? It was the first round. You know, everyone counted me out. Everyone's like, oh, so-and-so has won it all before. He's going to do it again. I chewed up that baby carrot, okay? And now, here we are in the same situation with Dan Murrell, and he's about to go down.
You gonna chew up on a horse, though?
Yeah. I'll chew up a horse. I don't give a fuck.
Let's get right down to business here. I had a rough start to the beginning of the season. I took a loss in singles. Roka and I took a close loss in teams. We're coming to the end of this year. My comeback depends on this tournament, and I don't want this year to end in another loss. I want to make a run at this thing. I don't want to be watching the spectacular. I want to be playing in the spectacular. I want to be playing for that belt. And if that means that I have to go through some great people to get there, then that's what I'm going to do. This isn't just a game. This is the season for me, and I don't intend for it to end today.
Jay Washington and Stacy Howard excited to see one another again. And now that Ethan Irwin has advanced, Jay's got 1 fighter left in the game still. And if Stacy Howard wins, he's got 2. But Dan Murrell and the Horsemen, and what I loved about that interview, as we saw that Mark Riley, his fellow teammate, has won the Ultimate Schmoedown teams. John Roca has won the Ultimate Prize in becoming the singles champion. And Dan Murrell is there, and he said to Roca, he's like, there is nothing more that I want to do than play you for the 3rd match at the Spectacular. They're competitors, they're warriors, and they want to do it, but he's got to get through Stacy Howard first.
I mean, look, they have all the hardware to prove it, but are they still on the top of the mountain here at the Schmoedown, or are they just like a bunch of old comics reminiscing in Las Vegas?
Well, we're about to find out. Are you ready to get going?
Oh, I am ready.
Well, here's the tail of the tape first.
Here we go.
Stacy Howard. You got Tim Burton movies as a strength. You got musicals as a strength, and dressing up, scaring you and forgetting that she's actually Stacy Howard.
And having me FedEx articles of clothing. Always happy to do so, Stacy.
And then you've got the former 2-time champion of the world, Dangerous Dan Murrell. Spielberg movies are there. Oscar movies as well. And just being Dan Murrell.
I was going to say being a junkie of the screen.
Oh, I like that.
You get it?
I like that. All right.
It's a thinker.
Are you ready to go?
No, I am not ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Movie Trivia Schmoedown.
Good crowd here today.
Yep. Introducing first, representing the Viper Squad with a record of 4 wins, 2 defeats, and 1 knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Sassy Stacy Howard.
Scissorhands.
Cut her face.
Wow, this is incredible.
Really
Don't
good.
grab that mic. That is some sharp hardware on the
It's
edge
commitment.
of her fingertips there. Tough to grab a sip of water even.
And Jay Washington helping her out because she can't pick it up. She has scissors on her.
And for the ladies, man, that's a...
Yeah.
All right.
And Stacy.
What a getup that is. Clearly the iconic Johnny Depp character Jack Sparrow with knives.
I'd like to thank our makeup.
Is that who it is?
Yeah, I'd like to thank our makeup department for Jen Sturger for helping that out.
That is incredible Edward Scissorhands.
All right, so with that, and her opponent, representing the 5 Horsemen, with a record of 7 wins, 3 defeats. He is the 2016 Player of the Year. He is the reigning Screen Junkies Movie Fights Champion and the former 2-time Movie Trivia Schmoedown Champion of the World, Dangerous Dan Murrell! All the Horsemen are here. The champion, and there's Dan. There's Dan. We haven't seen him in singles action since July, and there he is, Dan Murrell coming out once again, and he is with both.
Reading.
Mark, you ready? Look at the champions. All two-time champions right there.
That's
all two-time champs.
Roca clinging to that belt like it's his lover.
Yeah, and here we go. Here, you got Dan Murrell, and the champ is here.
Was there a handshake? Was there a handshake attempt?
It was a scissor shake.
I don't want Dan to get injured just because he's being a good sport.
There's a scissor shake. So there are the Horsemen. And
you say a scissor shake like it's just a thing people do.
Horses I've ever seen.
What's
You're
that?
like 55. You're 55, Jay. You have 7 kids.
What are you?
Come on, buddy. Come on.
All right, some swag
I
talk.
know you're having a nostalgia moment. You don't know who you are,
The
and he
managers
gets shook real quick.
are having
What
an
is
issue.
this?
All right, look at Jay Washington.
Competitors seem fine.
All right, Jay. I'm going to ask everybody to clear up. Clear it up. Clear it up.
Managers are going to have to go back to wherever it is that they sleep, because now it is time for the actual movie trivia Schmoedown match between Dangerous Dan Murrell and Stacy Howard. It is a 3-round matchup. Round number 1 is going to feature 8 questions from 8 different corners of the movie trivia Schmoedown galaxy asked to the field. As soon as you hear a question, please write down your best attempt at an answer on the whiteboard. Stacy, hopefully you don't need any assistance writing it. Are you okay with the scissors?
We'll see. We'll see.
She could carve it into the board.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You have about 15 seconds, and then when we say
Give me a
time's
bush.
up, please put your pens down. When we address you by name, show your best attempt at an answer that you wrote on the whiteboard to the camera. At the same time, you verbalize it into the microphone. 1 point per question. There's no penalty for missing a question. There is no stealing in round number 1. I'll remind each competitors of your 3 usages of the JTE rule throughout the duration of the match. You need to hear a question again. You need to buy yourself some time, maybe to write an answer down. Please use a JTE rule, and you each have 1 challenge that you can use at any time during the 3 rounds.
All right, and with that, Dangerous Dan Murrell, are you ready?
Let's play the game.
Sassy Stacy Howard, are you ready?
Yes, I think so.
Then let's get ready to Schmoedown!
Said it before, said it again. Stacy Howard, one of the best in the game when it comes to the intros.
Oh, definitely. All right, here we go. Here is the first question in the realm of action-adventure. Who played Gale Hawthorne in The Hunger Games?
Were these the last books that you read?
No.
It's the most recent book you read. Non-Star Wars.
World War II. 5.
You read
4.
a book called World War II?
The entire World War II. 3.
I don't think that's a
2.
real book.
It's true. 1. My daughter wrote it. She's 7. Dan Murrell.
Liam Hemsworth.
That is correct. Stacy.
Liam Hemsworth.
Yes, indeed. 1-1.
And might I say, exceptional handwriting for someone with 10 scissors on their fingers.
10
Movie
sing.
release dates. Movie release dates is the next category. And your question is, Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker first joined forces in Rush Hour, which was released in what year?
What?
I love pronouncing words.
5, 4,
What?
3, 2, 1. Stacy Howard.
97?
It's incorrect.
1998.
That's correct. Dan Murrell.
So close.
Dan Murrell, 2-1.
1 year is close.
Next question is from Dramas.
It's hard to count with this.
Dramas. Natalie Portman starred opposite Clive Owen, Julia Roberts, and Jude Law in this 2004 Mike Nichols film.
I like how you said the category there. Like you're a beleaguered teacher in Ferris Bueller. Dramas.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And Dan Murrell.
Closer?
Yes, sir. Stacy?
Closer.
Yep. Okay, 3-2.
It is closer. Move on to animated movies. These are animated movies, films featuring animation. Your question is, George Takei makes a cameo in what Walt Disney animated film? You want to?
Oh, my.
Thank you. Just the, oh my.
5,
We can go ahead and.
4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Stacy Howard.
I didn't have it.
All right, and Dan.
Mulan.
Yes, it is.
Oh, man!
Mulan it is.
Mulan.
That's 4 points for the dangerous
One of
one.
the ancestors, I forgot.
All right, that's true. Next question is from Fantasy Sci-Fi. Who played Hansel in 2013's Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters? AKA the Oscar-winning. Just kidding.
Oh,
Yeah, that wasn't good.
I think they're. Weren't they talking about a sequel to this?
No, I hope not. 5,
They were
4,
for a while.
3, 2.
JT, please.
JT, who has the first one? Okay. Who played Hansel in 2013's Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters?
It'd be funny if every time they ask for a JTE rule, we have JT come out and entertain the crowd for
That'd be
15
good.
seconds.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And pens down, please. Dan Murrell.
Jeremy Renner.
Yes, sir.
Jeremy Renner.
Yep, 5-3.
And Jeremy Renner keeping pace with Dan Murrell, 5-3.
And just to remind the competitors, if you need the JT rule, you just say repeat the question as well if you want.
Oh,
so, yeah. Okay, here we go.
I think you can certainly say JT.
Of course you can. I'm just saying if you want
I
to
just
say
like saying JTE's name.
That's fine.
It's like Beetlejuice. I hope he'll just appear.
He will. Hopefully not on a bird. All right,
Christian George.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Your next category in the world of comedies. And your question is, what 1995 family comedy stars Damon Wayans and Michael Ironside?
I am so upset that I didn't talk to Michael Ironside about this.
How is
5.
Mr. Ironside?
Awesome.
Yeah.
4.
Top Gun
3.
stories?
Yes. 2, 1. Pens down. Stacy Howard.
I don't know this one.
Okay, Dan.
Is it Major Payne?
It is. Dan Murrell. 6 points here.
Can I say how much I appreciate the commitment of Stacy Howard to still show us that she has no
Nothing.
answer?
Yeah.
I think
I have nothing. All right.
Thank you, Stacy.
Next
Say that
question.
a lot outside this.
Next question. Horror/thriller. Who plays science journalist Veronica in 1986's The Fly?
Would you rather be turned into
5,
a fly or a bee?
4, B. 3. You get honey.
Sting.
I like honey. 2,
Oh.
1. Pens down. Dan Murrell.
Gina Davis?
Yes, it is. Stacey.
Gina Davis.
Okay, 7-4.
All right.
All right, so Dan Murrell has an opportunity here to get a perfect round should he answer this correctly.
That's right. He could really take an advantage. Stacey Howard gets this one right. I think it's a win because you're keeping pace with Dangerous Dan Murrell going into round 2. This is a Patreon question. Thanks to all our supporters of the Movie Trivia Schmoedown Patreon. Select which tier is right for you today if you have not already. This one is from Michael Campbell. No, it's not the guitar player from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, or it might be. Thank you, Michael Campbell, for all your support of the show. His category was the 2000s category. Both you and I lived through, and one of us dominated on the stand-up circuit. Your question is, what Gus Van Sant movie takes place in the fictional Watt High School and chronicles events surrounding a school shooting?
Dan Murrell attempting a perfect round here. Stacey trying to keep track in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Stacey Howard.
I have nothing.
And Dan for the perfect round.
Elephants.
Correct.
Wow.
Dan Murrell gets
That's
a perfect round.
That is a
Never
tough
heard
pull,
of
and so
it.
now Dan Murrell will have a question asked just to him. This is a bonus question that is just for Dan Murrell, although everybody at home can think the correct answer should they wish to.
And Dan, because it's only you do not have to write it down. You just say it. You still have 15 seconds to answer, and you have 2 JTE rules left. Here you go.
It's like Drag Me to Hell. It's very intimidating. It's a good word.
All right, Dan. This actor has won the most Academy Awards for Best Actor in a Motion Picture with 3.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
For 1 point. Dan Murrell.
The
perfect
shoe cobbler
round.
can also act a little bit, and that is Daniel Day-Lewis. Dan Murrell taking a 5-point lead into round number 2.
Dan Murrell looking like the Dan Murrell of old here in the first round. He's got 9 points, and he goes into the second round. But, again, the wheel round can change everything. Round number 2. And, Mark, how does this work?
Well, you said wheel round, and never have you been more accurate, Christian, because this is the wheel of fate, justice, and doom for one competitor. I will mention the 2 wheel slices for today's match were sponsored by 2 of our Schmoedown patrons. The sponsored wheel slices today are Judd Apatow movies and 2000s movies, and those are but 2 of the 12 possible options. This wheel includes spinner's choice and the dreaded opponent's choice. Once you settle on a category after spinning the wheel once or twice if you want to use your mulligan, you're going to hear 4 questions that are asked just to you. Each question is worth 2 points. However, if you want multiple choice, you're not sure of the answer, we'll give you 4 options, one of which is right. If you hit that one, you get 1 point. I will remind both Ms. Howard and Mr. Murrell, stealing is available in round number 2. Dan, you threw a perfect game and you got the bonus question. Are you feeling lucky? You want to step right up to the wheel, or do you want to defer to Edward Scissorhands?
I will defer.
All right, so Stacey's going to spin first. Stacey, please spin from the wheel, not the peg.
Look, if she can spin anything with those hands, I say you just let her do it. Here we go. Don't grab the bag. All right. I think it was okay. I think it was okay.
All right.
All right. Don't scold Edward Scissorhands. He's a shy boy.
All right.
All right. This it's going to pass it. Christian, this could be opponent's choice if it gets that far.
Movie
release dates. And look at the ugly mug on that. Does she want the category?
Spin from the wheel, please. Spin from the wheel, not the peg.
Grab the wheel.
Yeah, don't grab the peg. Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
There you go. Spinning away from movie release dates, the category that was Scott Mance's, now Ben Bateman's.
Now Ben Bateman's.
She didn't want movie release dates.
No,
she missed the rush hour question.
Coming around here.
Although it was only by a year, so it looks like it's going to be directors.
Directors.
Okay.
Directors for Stacy Howard.
Directors.
Directors is going to be Stacy Howard as she goes to try to catch up with the 5-point deficit that she currently has. All right, here you go.
Stacy Howard, you have spun directors with your second spin because movie release dates, who needs them? Your first question of 4. In Sam Raimi's Oz the Great and Powerful, who played Theodora, who became the Wicked Witch of the West?
Rachel Weisz?
That is incorrect for 2 points in the steal.
Mila Kunis.
It was correct. Mila Kunis, and that is a huge steal in round number 2 for Dangerous Dan Murrell. All right, Stacy, your next question. In the world of directing and directors, what is the name of the powerful Ava DuVernay documentary released in 2016?
Five.
Multiple choice.
Is it A, Fire at Sea, B, I Am Not Your Negro, C, The Eagle Huntress, or D, 13th?
13.
It is 13th,
I knew
so
that.
she
I
gets a
wasn't
point
sure
in round number 2.
Wasn't sure I knew it.
All right. Your next question, your penultimate one in this round. The 1994 film North, starring Elijah Wood and Bruce Willis, was directed by whom?
Multiple choice.
Is it A, Rob Reiner, B, Roger Donaldson, C, Tim Burton, or D, Gary Marshall?
B.
That is incorrect. Merle, your options are Rob Reiner, Roger Donaldson, Tim Burton, or Gary Marshall.
Rob Reiner.
It is Rob Reiner, and that's another steal for Dan Murrell. He has a 7-point advantage in Stacy Howard, but one question remains in round number 2. Stacy, your question. Which Kate Winslet film was directed by the Lord of the Rings' Peter Jackson?
Heavenly Creatures.
2 points for Stacy, and a big 2 points
She
that
needed
might
it.
help her get
She
into
needed
round
it.
3, and then anything can happen.
Yeah, she needed it because now Dan's up there with a 5-point lead and he hasn't spun yet. Now, if he gets a strength, Dan hasn't had the best relationship with the wheel this season, so we're going to see
this
what
tournament
happens.
has really been all about the relationships
I knew 13.
that
I knew
the competitors have with the wheel.
I didn't know.
Will
if I
the
knew
wheel
it,
be
though.
nice to Dan here? Will their relationship change on this spin? We're going to find out.
Dan looking at it like it's a son that disappointed him somehow.
Well, he did. He spun opponent's choice against Guy. He spun opponent's choice at the live event.
Will Dan take the wheel's allowance away? It's coming around. Christian, this could be a spinner's choice situation.
Look at this. New releases.
New releases, Dan
New
Murrell.
releases. Dan's going to keep new releases.
He's going to keep it.
All right, so Dan's
Yeah,
going
you
to
got all
go.
those free screeners under your belts, huh? Us poor folks don't have them.
All right, new releases. All right, here we go. Dan, new releases. In Crazy Rich Asians, before jetting off to Singapore with her wealthy boyfriend, Rachel Chu is shown to be a successful NYU professor in what field?
I'll go multiple choice.
Is it A, political science, B, psychology, C, economics, D, physics?
Economics.
For 1 point. That's correct.
1 point. That's 13-7.
Question 2, The Incredibles 2. What kind of animal does Jack Jack get into a backyard scuffle with?
A raccoon.
For 2 points.
For
That's
2
correct.
points, and Christian, we are rapidly approaching knockout potential here.
In Game Night, who plays Brooks? Jason Bateman's brother, who sets up the interactive role-playing mystery game.
Kyle Chandler.
For 2 points. All right, so if Dan Murrell gets either multiple choice or the 2-pointer, he will win via KO with this question.
That's right. If he misses it or Stacy somehow gets a steal, we are going on to round 3.
Who directed the 2018 film Love, Simon?
Multiple choice.
Is it A, Jason Reitman, B, Amy Heckerling, C, Greg Berlanti, D, Rob Reiner?
Greg Berlanti.
And your winner, by way of knockout, Dangerous Dan Murrell! Murrell's back.
Dan Murrell
Stacy
takes it.
Howard
to knock out.
Yeah, Dan hit his moments. Dan hit the moments, and Dan is now on top again. He is 8-3 going in, and listen to this, against Ethan Irwin. We have Murrell versus Irwin in round 2. Look out.
And I'm not the records guy. I leave that up to Frankie Stats up there in Cincinnati, wherever he lives. But Dan Murrell, 18 points just in rounds number 1 and 2 alone. That's got to be approaching record stuff. What a match for him. It doesn't matter who his opponent was, I think, in this match. Dan Murrell, when he gets focused, when he gets locked in, he gets a category he likes, he is going to beat just about anybody up
That's 2016 Dan Murrell that we just watched right there. That is Dan Murrell focused. That is Dan Murrell hungry. That is a scary, that is a dangerous Dan Murrell.
He's a bad man, but for Stacy Howard, not only a hell of an intro, we know to expect that from her. She might have topped herself with the Edward Scissorhands walk-in. It's a tough run. You get up there, you spin a category, it doesn't go your way. Having a couple of steals really cost her in round number 2.
Yeah, look, she earned her spot in the tournament. She just happened, it didn't matter. This whole tournament's full of heavy hitters. I mean, everywhere you go, look at the round 1s that we've had so far. Look at the bracket now. Stare at the bracket, because now we have our semifinals. On one side of the bracket, the Fife Club explodes as you have Classy Clark Wolf, co-owner of the team championship, going up against Mark the Android and Draco. And then the winner of that will face the winner of our next semifinal match. Ethan Irwin, big time himself, goes up against the former 2-time champion, Dangerous Dan Murrell. What a tournament it is. One of these 4 people will be facing John Roca for the championship at the Spectacular.
That's right, John Roca currently rubbing down one of his many horses in his stable, probably looking at a movie trivia book in his spare time and waiting for somebody to emerge from this chaos that we have, and what beautiful entropy it is. For more on the post-match and interview with the winner and the loser, we turn now to Jen Sturger.
What's up, Movie Trivia Schmoedown fans? Jen Sturger here with Stacy Howard and Shay Washington.
Sorry, it's very difficult.
Stacy is having trouble holding her own microphone because of the scissors.
It's very hard. It's very hard.
Oh, Stacy, you know, some days you play lights out, and then other days the wheel just takes. And I think today we can both agree was the latter.
Today was tough. It sucked. Sometimes the reel is a real bitch, you know. But it is what it is. I feel like I played well that first round. Just, you know, you had to get through it. So
absolutely,
it's Dan Murrell. Come on.
Speaking of which, what was that? Where was the dude who got his ass whooped like 2 months ago?
Where was like weakling Dan?
Where was that little sniveling Murrell? Like, yo, why did he come back? That was the damn best of this game. Where was the little you can't beat me? Where the hell was that Murrell? Like, that's what we thought we was getting. What the like, this was set up just bogusly. Nobody was like, Dan Murrell's coming back with a vengeance. God damn.
Right. So obviously spinning directors probably wasn't your strongest suit. I'm sure you would have rather had something like romantic comedies, you know, potentially Meryl Streep. But I think what really hurt you in that second round, like you said, you hung the first round, was the steals.
Yeah.
The steals. But I will say this.
He gets to steal movies to see them for free. He should pay those people, okay?
Yeah, look at all the screeners he gets up. I'm not industry. I can't get into all of those.
Everybody ain't privileged like Dan Murrell.
That's right.
God damn it.
The struggle is real.
It is real.
Yes.
Revolution.
Struggle is real. The wig is not.
No.
But I will say this. You played very aggressively today. You didn't go multiple choice a ton. And
sharpened my skills today.
Yeah, but I appreciate the fact that you were like, I'm not leaving the points out there for Murrell as much as you wanted to.
I mean, when it comes to that, like, just F it. Like, just guess. Just go for it. I don't want to lose the points on, you know, a bunch of multiple choice every time. Just jump.
Oh, okay, right, Stacy. Well, I'm sorry that you're out of the tournament.
Look,
hopefully we'll see you hanging around here.
Stacy is here in spirit.
For sure.
You get what I'm saying? The Viper Squad is back. You know, we might have just took a small L. You know what I'm saying? Like a little L, not even a capital one. But you know, that's because Dan Murrell ain't supposed to be that goddamn Dan Murrell.
Listen, I got a lot of costumes on back order. Okay, so you guys get ready for next year.
I did a kneel
2019
prayer.
is going to be lit.
Yeah.
Don't say that way again, please. All right. We're going to leave. We're going to leave.
Bye, guys. Those are sharp. Please watch my eyes. Thanks.
Oh, by the way, that Murrell, that showed up, that is a good Murrell. That is a dangerous Dan Murrell, not a cowardly, pretty much neuter Dan Murrell. But that Dan Murrell now has to go up against big-time Ethan Irwin, and I cannot wait for that. I want to see how dangerous will he be against somebody who is just as good, if not better than him. You get what I'm saying?
We could be in for a match of the ages. And we're back with Dan Murrell and the Horsemen. Dan, I would say welcome back, but I think you made your presence known today.
I mean, I didn't go anywhere. I've said it before. It's the luck of the wheel. You get questions that you know or you don't. I was lucky to spin a category that I felt pretty strongly in, and any given day, I came out on the right side of it today. That should not take away from Stacy. Stacy is a dangerous competitor. We've seen her pull off upsets in this game before. It very well could have happened today. So I'm just excited to move on and see who's next.
Yeah, but let's be clear. You played lights out in the first round. Obviously, round 2, you didn't even have to finish. And you took steals, which were awesome. So this was a completely different Dan Murrell than we saw last time, and I'm really glad to see him back and that energy back that this league has missed.
Well, I mean, I've been waiting 23 years to make it worth having seen Major Payne in theaters, so it's good for that to finally pay off.
That's great.
That's good. It's kind of like like a flashback, the tapestry of my life. Now Major Payne has fallen into place.
Who knew?
Who knew? But yeah, no, it's. I'm out there, I'm having fun, and that's what the game is, and I think I sort of let it not be so fun for me for a while.
Yeah.
And it's a good time. I just like to do it. And win or lose, I just want to go out and have fun, and I had a great time today, and I'm hoping to have a great time in the next round.
Absolutely. Speaking of the next round, obviously you're going to face Ethan Irwin, who I'm not sure if you have been paying attention, but he's really come into this league and made a name for himself. Oh, hi, I know this person. Awkward as always.
I like her. She's really good. She's really good.
But he's really come into this league and made a name for himself. So is it hard to not look ahead to next week, and start preparing for it?
I mean, Ethan Irwin followed me into retirement. I was retired and people were trying to scare me with Ethan Irwin, and I've seen a lot of his matches, and he knows his stuff. This is not going to be this next round is not going to be a case of who misses the most.
He would have been here to crash your interview, but he said he had to go back to the WB. So
yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
True story.
I think that he is a beast. Anyone beating him, that is quite a task, and it's going to take a lot of luck and a lot of strategizing and a lot of studying and a lot of preparation, because that is a scary opponent, tournament or no tournament.
Speaking of scary opponents, one of them may or may not be standing next to me on the other side. Obviously, that is the goal, to win the tournament and to be able to face John Roca for the belt. Is that at all going to be weird for you, considering this newfound chemistry that you guys have within the Horsemen?
I mean, listen, it won't be the first rodeo for me and John. We've faced each other
he's got
for
the hat
twice before. He's got the hat. He's a cowboy. He knows what he's doing. It would almost be sort of a fun way to cap off a comeback, coming back this year. It's sort of end the season the way I in a lot of ways began a lot of my runs. So, but I'm not really that concerned about it right now. That's 2 games ahead of me, and looking at who's left in this tournament, there's not one person left to overlook or to take for granted. Obviously, I like the look of that belt. Obviously, I'd like to have that belt on my shoulder. If I got to play John, I got to play John. But right now, I'm glad to have him on my side for the rest of this tournament. What happens after that, we'll see how that shakes out.
Whew, wouldn't that be poetic? Well, Dan, best of luck to you in the rest of the tournament.
Thank you. I got to go research. I got to study.
Good luck on that.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
See how easy it is when a manager doesn't talk? Yeah.
Well, look, Dan's excited, Stacy, and Jay said it himself too. It was a good match. Dan looked good, and then I thought it was funny when Jay said, "Well, where was the guy that played a couple months ago? That's the Dan that played 2 years ago." But this to me is that's a scary Dan Murrell to be in the tournament. Now, if I'm Ethan Irwin, you better be getting ready here, because Dan's coming for that championship. Dan wants, he said it as much in his interview, he wants to play Rocha for the title, and I like the respect that they both had for one another, and Rocha's like, win this tournament, dude. Let's do it again. Let's do number 3.
Yeah, and as an incredibly talented basketball player myself, I think that I can give Dan Murrell high praise by saying he might be the Steph Curry of this league, where once he gets hot, once he starts feeling it, it's unstoppable from any place on the court. Stacy Howard, a great post-game interview, her and Jay Washington. I look forward to their future, but for 2018, it's going to be Dan Murrell's, and he might have a big shiny belt at the end of the whole thing.
We're going to see. John Rocha might have a lot to say about that, but how much fun would it be should they meet again? We're going to find out. But thank you guys for joining us today. Once again, patrons, please go ahead, and if you haven't signed up, please do so today. Patreon.com/Schmoedown. We are trying to grow the league each and every day.
Fertilize
you guys,
it. Help us.
You are the ones to do as much. So I wanted to thank you very much for joining us today. Remember that Season 6 begins in New York. You want to be a part of it? Buy a ticket. That's right. Just go to schmoedownlive.com. Get your ticket in January for the season. You'll be there. No, you're good. You're good. But everyone else, please buy a ticket. Check it out. Come see us on the East Coast. For Mark Ellis, I'm Christian Harloff. We'll catch you next time.
And your new Movie Trivia Schmoedown champions, who's the fucking boss?
Yeah, Tom, it's not gonna go like that. It's gonna go a little more like, and still, Movie Trivia Schmoedown champions of the world, the Shire Wolves!
Have you ever called a match before?
Yeah, I have, actually, multiple times. Yeah. Okay, well.
Anyway.
Cool.
Are you thinking that you're going to be manager of the year?
I think I'm basically a shoo-in for manager of the year.
Did you see what we did to all those Nimrod teams in Anarchy?
Okay, the Anarchy, that's one thing, Tom. You abandoned
the Harris brothers didn't even make it to the second round. They didn't even get to spin the wheel, I don't think.
Okay, but you also abandoned your faction earlier this year, so I mean, manager of the year usually probably supports the people that they are managing, regardless of whether or not they are kicking ass in the Schmoedown.
I won 5 years in a row.
Yeah, but you're a thing of the past,
What
Tom.
are you two doing?
Oh, no.
You do realize this isn't even the Schmoedown set. The set's over there.
Listen,
these mics aren't even plugged in.
Tom sat here first, so
Whatever.
Take the mask off, Kalinowski.
You guys are so mean. I just don't understand. I put both of you in the manager bowl last year. That's how you became a manager. You came and asked me to join, and I said sure, and now you're in the Fight Club, and you have the champions.
Yeah, and I thank you for that.
And that's great. But every time I turn around, you're insulting me. You're throwing me under the bus. You're saying that everything is hooked. You're signing this thing that Brienne put together and threatening my position. I'm just trying to make the spectacular perfect.
Okay. Listen, I don't want to take words out of Tom's mouth or anything, but you've been exhibiting kind of a lot of loser behavior. So
yeah, I mean that's the truth.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to respond to that. I'm doing my best with what I've been given. And I just wanted to let you both know that last year we did the Manager Bowl, and you won. You became a manager and a very good one at that.
Thank you.
And you've done okay too, Tom. But this year we're gonna put the commissionership on the line. So Christian and I are going to finally battle, and the winner gets to be the commissioner. It's going to be fun. But I can't do it alone. So Tom?
Kalinowski's going to help you?
No. Mike's doing his own. It's fine.
If he's blackmailing you, you can just tell us.
I'm my own person.
Where are the strings?
There are no strings. I have no strings to hold me up.
Okay.
You are going to be in the Commissioner Bowl with Christian and I.
Oh boy.
Oh, okay.
So you have a chance. But
that's fair.
Can you do it too?
Me?
Yeah. I don't want Tom to.
Yeah. I mean, listen. If Tom's playing, then I'm playing.
Okay. Then the four of us will be in the Commissioner Bowl, and the winner gets the commissionership. Okay? Harloff is in it, and
that guy's senseless.
yeah. So it'll be the four of us, and then we'll put all this behind us, and 2019 will be perfect, and no one will boycott the spectacular, right? Right? Please?
I mean, as managers, we will do what it is our duty to do, which is check in with our players regarding this and make sure that our stables are all on the same page. But
I can't guarantee.
Yeah, it's going to be a maybe for me.
I can't guarantee.
The mic. Why are you still talking to them? It's not plugged in.
And
No.
And still.
What's up, Schmoedown fans? Frank here, and it is time for your Schmoedown Breakdown.
And your winner!
Final match of the first round of the tournament, and both Dan and Stacy were coming off a loss in the singles league and getting right into the first round action. Dan sprints out to a 5-point lead, and that's all thanks to a perfect round, including the bonus. This is the second time Dan has gone 8 for 8, but the first time he's earned the bonus point as well. As for Stacy, this was her worst performance in the first round this season. She was averaging nearly 6 points previously. With the lead, Dan defers to Stacy, and she at first spins away from release dates, only to ultimately land on directors. Now this is in fact the third straight match in which she has been stuck with this category. And if we take it a step further, in her 4 matches this season, she has spun the wheel 7 times and landed on the director's slice 4 times. Now, despite having plenty of experience in this category, she gets 2 of 4 questions for 3 points, and to make matters worse, Dan stole 2 questions for 3 points. With Dan's turn, he lands on new releases, and with his 5-point lead already, he goes 4 for 4 for 6 points, and in the process, KOs Stacy Howard by a score of 18-7. Inside the numbers, it wasn't pretty for Stacy on this day. She went 6 of 12, and today's KO, in fact, makes it her second straight KO in a tournament match. And now as we turn our attention to Dan Murrell, he went a perfect 15 of 15, which makes this his first perfect accurate match of his career. Not to mention, it's the third perfect accurate match in the Collider era, and the second perfect accurate match this season. Dan Murrell joins the likes of William Bibiani and Rachel Cushing as the only players to do it and win.
How many points? I did not bet enough points.
What? JTE
Did I
is
win?
the winner! Did I win? JTE is the winner! It's an upset! It's an upset!
JTE!
Did not have enough points! Mark Ellis is out of the tournament! Oh my God!
If you want to find out other stats about this match and from around the league, check out SD Rundown Stats on Twitter. And don't forget to check out the Schmoedown Rundown every Saturday on the Collider Podcast Network on YouTube and the Collider Factory podcast feed. This has been your Schmoedown Breakdown.
How's it going, guys? If you didn't know about the Patreon, you guys have a chance to support the Schmoedown. Now, myself, Mark Ellis, we've taken over the production. Basically, you guys have 16 tiers to choose from. We're trying to give back to the fans. Go and check it out right there. If you want to support the Schmoedown by becoming a patron today, go ahead and do it. Cannot thank you guys enough for all the support you've given us. And yeah, there's some really crazy tiers in there. I'd love to get your opinions on it. Now go enjoy the match. Go do it. It's a good match, for God's sakes.